What's up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday. This is a weekly series of Scentsy warm review videos where I discuss how a scent performs for me and what my thoughts are based on my home and my perception, in the hopes that might help you decide if a scent is going to work for you or not. So actually, I'm going to do things a little bit differently this week. Hopefully I can keep the video short. Last week we had quite a few number of votes. I don't have my information, but it was over 400, not quite to the record. So let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Saint Nickerdoodle. The percentage of the vote I will put down below. This is a cream colored wax. On cold sniff, it's between light and medium. This is available November 1st as part of the Scents of the Season collection. You can buy it as a 4-pack group, or you can buy it individually, or you can put it in a 6 or 3-pack bundle. This I would put in the bakery section. So Scentsy says baked apples, spices, and a dusting of powdered sugar. So this reminds me of a hybrid of desserts that I've had and made myself. Now, there used to be a bakery here in Halifax, and it's no longer open. They had the best apple pie. The crust was very different. It wasn't like a traditional pie crust. It was almost like a cookie pastry crust. I don't know. And that's probably what they would call like a variation of a pâte sucrée, which is kind of like a very sugar-heavy pie crust. Now, the name implies a snickerdoodle cookie. So I can kind of see yes and yes. The baked apples, imagine taking very thin slices of apples, coating them in cinnamon and melted butter, and then arranging them over this beautiful cookie type crust in a very geometrical pattern. I'll put a picture here. I did make a dessert like this before. Then when you bake it, the apples cook, but they don't get mushy. They're almost like semi-cooked. So that's kind of what I get here. The apples, they're not quite fresh. They're not quite goopy cooked. They're in the middle. And the difference is the powdered sugar. There's a little bit of cinnamon here, but to me, the differentiating note with this scent is the powdered sugar, because you really get that powdered sugar taste. It's almost like you sprinkled it with powdered sugar, you left, you didn't know, your kids came by and they dusted it a little bit more, because you definitely get that sweetness from the powdered sugar. So yes, very nice. And let's talk about performance. So I've warmed this before. I knew I liked it. It's not quite an apple butter frosting like or love for me, but I do really like this. So I knew from my past experience, it's not a boomer. And just on cold sniff, it's about a light to medium. So I decided to warm it here in my bedroom. I warmed it in the entranceway, which is in a mini warmer, and I warmed it in Drew's bedroom. So let's talk about the entranceway first, because that's the first place I warmed it. There's a mini warmer there, and it's the ghoulish grip. I have a note here, strength and throw is about 6 out of 10. The first day I left it going almost a full day, 21 hours. I did try it again for about 3 hours the following day, and I couldn't get anything out of it. So it was kind of like a one day and done, and not overly strong in a mini warmer. So day 1 was about a medium light, and day 2 was quite light. So in my bedroom, it did a little bit better. I put 2 cubes in an old Scentsy 25-watt ceramic warmer. Strength and throw was about 7.5 out of 10, and I left it going a total of 2 days over 36 hours. Now, I have a note here that on day 1, it was more like a medium, and day 2, more like a medium light. So I decided with the cubes that I had, I always want to make sure I have 1 cube left to smell, but I had 5 cubes left. So I decided to put 4 cubes in Drew's bedroom bathroom combo instead of the traditional 3. I'm trying to warm more wax. It's just really hard for me to kind of put more in the warmers. But so I put 2 in each warmer, and 1 is a 25-watt ceramic and 1 is a 25-watt glass. Strength and throw is about 7 out of 10. It wasn't excelling there, and right now we're at about the 24-hour mark, and I'll probably take it out soon because it is getting hard to smell. The day before, I kind of had a coffee combination in his room, which I never do. I don't know why I did. And the coffee kind of overshadowed, the lingering coffee kind of overshadowed this. But I think if you're someone that likes Scentsy's baked apple pie, but you wish the cinnamon was lighter, then I think you would go for this. Because the cinnamon is like a bakery cinnamon. It's just a touch. And if you like apple butter frosting, but you found it too sweet and too intense, then this might work for you because it's a little bit lighter. I would stick to medium spaces to small spaces for this. Not open concept worthy for me. A nice kitchen, if it's enclosed, it would work very, very well. An entranceway would give you a nice warm welcome. Obviously, with the picture and the time of release, fall and winter would be best. I think if you wanted to mix this, I think an obvious choice would be either baked apple pie or apple butter frosting if you have access to those. And I might try that myself because I don't get great performance from baked apple pie. And sometimes I just want a little switch up from apple butter frosting. So it might be nice to kind of mix. Will I be repurchasing this one when it comes available November 1st? I will be repurchasing maybe one or two. I'm not going to stockpile, I'm not going to put it in my club, but I will definitely pick up a couple. It's enjoyable. That is Saint Nickerdoodle. So let's talk about our second place scent for the week. It is Walt Disney World Iridescent. This is a celebratory scent based on Walt Disney World Resort's 50th anniversary. So that's really, really nice. So this is available in brick, but you can also put it in your Scentsy club and get a smaller bar size version. So that may work for you. It's a nice dusty rose colored wax. On cold sniff, I would say it's about a medium intensity, and I would put this in the floral section with a sub of citrus, and it's a limited time offer, so while supplies last. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, a sparkling mix of natural elements from cedarwood and citrus to peony and apple blossom. Then there's a lot of other stuff that we're not going to read. So let's talk about each note. We're actually going to skip cedarwood. I don't tend to get a lot of cedarwood, even at the end. It's very, very, very light to my nose. So if you're someone that hates cedarwood and you do like floral and citrus, then you might want to give this one a try. So for me, I get mostly floral, then I get citrus, and then barely any cedarwood. There's probably other notes in there. The floral to me, I can definitely smell rose. I think there's rose in here. And often they do pair rose and peony together, and apple blossom is kind of its own special little, almost like a fruity floral twist. So picture all of those things. And the citrus reads almost like a lemon with a very, very slight tinge of orange, but mostly lemon, almost like a spritzer lemon. I have a note here that it smells floral. It also smells like a powdery candy and a sweet, airy, fizzy drink all rolled together. The gentle cedarwood was at the end, but I could barely smell it. So imagine you were having a drink at a fancy resort. It was almost like a lemon drop it low kind of spritzer. And they decorated with edible florals. And maybe the thing they passed it to you had like a little cedarwood base bottom, because you can't really smell that. Sometimes the florals were a little bit intense, and I think it's because I feel like I'm getting rose. So let's talk about performance since we're kind of along that route. So I've used 2 full brick cubes. So when you hear me talking about cubes, I'm going to actually be talking about the bar size equivalent, okay? So not a full brick cube, the bar size. So the first place I decided to warm it was the bonus room, which is the TV room above the garage. It did very, very well there. I have a note that it was 7.5 out of 10. I left it going 2 days, approximately 36 hours, and I would have used the equivalent of 3 bar cubes there. Day 1 was medium to medium strong. Day 2 was medium to light. And I did pick up quite a bit of rose and the fizzy sweet lemon spritzer there. I also warmed it in my daughter Erica's room. It did very, very, very well in her room. I have a note here. At the beginning, it was 7.5 to 8 out of 10. That was the first day. By the end of that first day, it had only dropped to about a 6. So it did very, very well. Now, I will say that she actually turned the warmer on a day that they didn't have school. And so she obviously enjoyed it enough to turn it on her own. So factoring that in, I think that she probably warmed it almost 50 hours over a 3-day span. Now, the third place I warmed it, it did not do as well as Ryan's room. I have a note here in Ryan's room, it's only 6 out of 10. And I have to kind of be in the room moving around to get the air flowing to kind of get better whiffs of it. So I'm not really sure why that is. He has the Night Sky Warmer, which is a glass warmer with lots of grout, so it usually performs well. But there are some scents that kind of thrive in some spots and don't in others. So, you know. Now, I was warming this a day in the TV room, and I was playing like a word game on the computer. And I almost had to leave because the floral was just so intense, but it wasn't quite to that stage. So I think you definitely have to like floral, and you definitely like to have to like probably a citrusy floral to get on board with this. But it is very pretty. They pump it out in the Walt Disney World Resort location, so that's kind of a nice twist. And obviously when they're pumping it out, it's probably something that's very, very minimal, and in your home it might feel a little bit more intense. So where I would warm this would be someplace like a medium space. A small space, it might be a bit too intense. A bathroom would be nice. A bedroom would be nice. Almost like if you had like a sunroom, it would be really nice. A baby's room, I think, would do well as well. So this would probably read more spring summer to me. That's when I'll probably reach for this some more. And for mixing, you could probably mix it with a vanilla if you wanted to change up the floral. Something like a Simply Vanilla or a White Sands. So will I be repurchasing this big bad boy brick? I don't think so. One will be plenty, and I don't think I'll get it in bar form, although I might just kind of have as a collector's piece, and that is Scentsy's Iridescent. All right, now we are moving to the portion of the video where I'm going to draw some scents, and you guys are going to vote. So I'm going to draw 6 scents from this box, and you're going to pick 2 different scents and put them down in the YouTube comment section by early Wednesday morning, please. If you can't do that for whatever reason, find my Instagram post and put your 2 votes there. I went to bed last night with my hair wet, and it just does not look good today. So, okay, so scent number 1 is going to be Newborn Nursery, which is in our current catalog. Scent number 2, another current catalog scent, Vanilla Bean Buttercream. I'm surprised we haven't reviewed that yet, and considering the Vanilla Bean Buttercream collection is coming out very soon, we'll have to get on that. I'm gonna kind of go in some older scents areas because I have bars of these that I would like to use up. So scent number 3, I do have 2 bars of this one, Winter Pine. This is retired. Scent number 4, I have a bar of this, Orange Clove Pomander. I kind of looked, that's okay. Scent number 6 is not overly old, but it's retired. It is Lemon Verbena. And the last scent is going to be one of the 3 remaining Bring Back My Bar scents that I have not reviewed that I have on stock for the January collection. So this particular scent is returning in January. I'm just going to root around. There's only 3 left. I want to get them done before, maybe before December, but we'll see. So scent number 6 is Autumn Stroll. And I have a note here, reserved for Tester Tuesday. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Take care. Don't forget to vote. And I'll see you guys in the next video.